Alright, to solve equations using the elimination method, your first step is to look at the coefficients, which are just the numbers in front of the variables. So the coefficients of the x's are -4 and +4, and the coefficients of the y are -2 and +8. In this case, one variable is the same and opposite. So the coefficients of the x's in this problem are the same value, 4, but opposite. One's negative and one's positive. Now, in elimination, we actually want that to be the case. We want them to be the same number but different signs. And the reason we do that is we're going to do a trick to get rid of one of the variables. Step 1 is add the equations. So we're going to add the top equation to the bottom equation. So we add -4x to +4x, which cancels out. And then we add the y's together, so -2y plus 8y would leave us 6y. We're going to keep the equal sign. And then -12 plus -24 gives us a larger negative, so -36. And then to solve for y, we're going to divide by 6. And that gives us y equals -6. So after we add the equations together, then we solve for the first variable. And then just like when we use the substitution method, we substitute that value into one of the equations and solve for the other variable. The top equation has smaller numbers, so I'm just going to use that one. You can substitute into either equation. All right, so step 3, substitute and solve. So now we're going to rewrite the second equation with -6 in place of y. So -4x minus 2 times -6 equals -12. And then our next step is we'll multiply. -2 times -6 is +12. And then we'll subtract 12 from both sides. So -4x equals -24. Last step, we'll divide by the coefficient. And that gives us x equals negative divided by negative is positive, so x equals +6. And then your final step is you want to write the solution as an ordered pair. And we always write a x, then y. So 6, -6. Let's do one more example together. So in this next example, it's set up nicely for us because we have the same value, 6, but different signs, negative and positive. So we can just add those together. And the x's cancel out, then we add together the y's. To get 9y, we'll bring down the equal sign. 1 minus 10 is -9. Then we'll divide by 9. So our y value is -1. Now let's substitute it. Neither equation looks really harder, but I'm just choosing the bottom equation. So now we'll rewrite that equation with y as -1. And I'm checking to make sure I chose the right equation. I didn't accidentally put 1 instead of negative 10. That's a common mistake. All right, then we'll multiply. So positive 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. And then we have to add 4 to both sides. So 6x equals negative 6. We're going to divide by 6. And when we divide, we get negative 1. So our answer would be negative 1, comma negative 1.